Love them knives. Can't stop talking about CH knives. They're an interesting option as a budget flipper. And they have all kinds of different models of knife. But I want to talk about the 3530, which is a fairly recent offering from CH Knives. It's got holes in the front, ain't got no holes in the back, which is kind of interesting that they didn't do that because, you know, the 3519, which is one of my favorite G10 models of theirs, it has hole in the front and the back. But of course, it's got liners. So, I mean, you're not going to see all the way through. That may be part of the thinking there. What's the point? It's not like a titanium one where, well, like the actual titanium 3519, where, yes, you can see all the way through, okay? Because it's a frame lock, not a liner lock, all right? But 3530 G10 model, I don't know of a 3530 titanium model, so this is a little unusual that they've done a G10 model where variation off of no precedent on the titanium. Okay, usually like the 3002 or the 3001 or the 3504 or that kind of thing. Those were all titanium knives first, and then they came out with a G10 offering. But this, there was no titanium model. And, of course, the 3531, which is a big, huge butcher-looking knife, that is the case with that as well. And both of these models came out about the same time. So I find that to be interesting. He's kind of swerved away from the path of having to do a titanium model first, then coming out with a G10. No, he's just coming out with a G10. And these little shooters are like $32 a piece. And I got mine from 9TI EDC store in AliExpress.com. 32 bucks. What do you want? You want black? You want green? You can have either way. And, you know, 32 smackers, just a little over Ganzo pricing. Here you go, 114 grams, so it's not very heavy. It's well under 5 ounces, and we'll check that. But it's a full-size knife, 3.5-inch blade, all that kind of stuff. So put the tape to it. See, 3.5, 90 millimeters. And then you got 8.25. So 21 centimeters, which is the same length as the paramilitary 2. It's the exact same length. And if you throw it on the scale, I think you're going to find that the weight is about the same as well. This is 4 ounces, okay? And, oh, let me throw grams on there. 113.8. So they said 114 grams. Okay, so they're good. So let's go back to ounces where people will comprehend that easier. And instead of 4 ounces, this is 3.8, 3.81. So it's really, really close to the same weight. So as far as weight in hand, this is about same as the PM2. Nice flat grind, very usable blade style for, you know, piercing and or slicing. And let's see if it'll do either. Wow. Okay, so that's really, really sharp. You can tell when it comes. Yeah, that's really sharp. Yes, you can tell. Yes, you can tell. And it is. So that's good. They come sharp out of the box. Yes, they're D2 steel. Yes, I've had enough D2 in my life. I can live without it for a while. And, you know, so, yeah, it'd be nice if it was 14C28N or N690 or something a little bit more stainless, because you can get little pitting and little stuff here and there. So you got to watch it. You got to kind of keep it coated. Where this is, I mean, the Sandvik and stuff would be more resistant to that. Ah, yes, but here we are. And yes, they're very usable, and these are so inexpensive that maybe it's not that big a deal. And you got a little choil up front here. You can get your hand right up here for close work, and here you go. There it is. You got a cutaway. Easy to flick, finger flick, and of course the flipper tab is jimped. You've got a bit of a ramp here, a bit of a thumb ramp, and it's jimped, so you've got some traction here. And the G10 isn't overly grippy. It's kind of smooth here, so not terribly grippy, although these areas serve as some degree of traction with your hand, you can see. And the ergos are good. You don't have any defined humps here where a finger has to fit, so they can all kind of slide in where their, best comfort is. And there you go. There's your lockup. Flip it open like I normally would, and that's 30%. That's pretty solid. I'm not getting any blade play or lock rock. It looks centered, and I'd say we're using all of that handle we need to use. The design, how does it flow? Flows nicely into here, flows nicely into here. So that's a good design. Actually, it's a pretty attractive knife. Nothing incredible about the hardware here, but, and we will disassemble this later, okay? But right here, let me put this. Oh yeah, that's a number 8, So these are number 8 screws. They're not like little number 6s, so that's nice that he has done that. Flat grind on the blade. Nice satin. Not too billboarded up. I mean, it's telling you the model, the D2, and the logo is not huge. And it's an open design, easy to clean. There's your standoffs right here. Pocket clip is flexible, sensible, not deep carry, not left hand. Lanyard hole, yes. So you can put a lanyard to it. Okay, that's good. There's the black one. I've been paying a lot of attention to the green, but here's the black as well. Check it out. Nice G10 with bearings on the pivot. The liners, they show, so they're not embedded, and they look pretty stout. Pretty stout. So it's a stout feeling knife. It doesn't feel fragile on the lockup or anything. It feels pretty good. Pass through is easy to do. You can tell you have a little bit more elevation here than you do on this front scale, and a little bit of machining here. You can get through and just drop it. And it gets over the detent ball real easy, okay? Just like that. Finger flick as well, like I said before. And let's talk about the detent. No, that ain't happening. Okay, that's happening. Definitely more than this. This one. Okay, this one is easy to toss out. This one's probably about a 3.5 because the blade is so damn heavy. But this one, the blade is much, much lighter, of course. And so I would say a 4.7, and maybe only because the blade's fairly light, so the detent ball tends to hold it better. Can I fail it? I'm sure I can. Hold on. Well, that didn't happen, did it? Okay, come on. I know I can. Yeah, but it ain't easy. That's kind of amazing me. I figured I could fail it easier than that. Let me try. Well, okay, so it holds it pretty good. Maybe a 5.0 actually on the detent. So yeah, you can gravity flip it that way, but not easy, and that's pretty simple, and it fires right out. So can't really fault it for that. 0.133 of an inch. So what were they saying? Three and a half. Yeah, it's going to be 3.5, 3.3, 3.4 centimeters on that. And let me get my other out here. 14.2. Okay, 0.56. Come on. Yeah, 0.55. 14.2 millimeters for overall thickness. So 3.5. I mean, what's this? 4 millimeters right there on the dot. And this one, the 35, 31. Oh, I guess I screwed this up. Zeroed out. Thank you. 15.2 at 0.6. So yeah, this is a little wider here, and definitely the blade stock is thicker. So yeah, this is much lighter, real easy to carry, great size. Balance point on the knife, right there. So, okay. Well, we spent a lot of time with the green during the presentation, so let's take the black one apart. That way you can kind of look that over. And let's take it apart. Oh, that's easy. I've learned, because when I did a disassembly on this, I found out it's the presentation side that has the screw and the back side that has the pivot tube. So thank God I figured that out. And here we go. This is coming apart real easy. This one's a little tougher. Not too bad. Okay, throw it down. So we got 2 body screws and a pivot screw. Do we need a little coaxing? We need a little coaxing. A little bit of coaxing. Those standoffs got it. They're pressed. They were pressed pretty good on there. Okay. It looks clean. And obviously skeletonized. Well, I don't see anything that's holding the liner and the scale together, but man, they seem, I mean, you know what? I can't break them loose from each other, so I'm going to leave them alone. I don't care. I don't need to pull the scale from the liner. So the heck with it. I mean, I'm lazy that way. Okay, so here's your bearings, and they're just regular steel bearings, but it's clean. This thing's clean. Yeah, they fall right out. Here we go. Yeah. Need to be cleaned up here a little bit. There's your detent hole and track and internal blade stop. And you can see, of course, your internal blade stop or internal track is right here and here, up here. So good there. Let's see what the pivot looks like coming from the back. And it's a one-piece pivot, or it looks like it is. So that's a good thing, but it's not D-shaped. And the only saving grace there is that you can put a Torx in there to stabilize it if you get a little happy with the Loctite. So, yeah, I guess we can just stick this back together. I'm going to put the bearings right here. Well, let's start with the detent track. Just a little bit of lube along there. What the hell? Bearings. One, two, just touch it with a little bit. And throw, of course, the blade on. There we go. Maybe just a little bit here. Bearings. And these never came apart, so to hell with it. I don't care. Let's just mate it back up. There we go. And it did mate back up, but that's something, huh? This pushes flat. Okay, we're good. I don't want to get too outrageous on that pivot. Okay, good. And good. Maybe a little strong. How about just that? That's better. No play. We're good. So I think we recovered fine from that. It was pretty easy disassembly and reassembly. Feels good. I like the action. I like this knife. The 3530, black or green. But yeah, the CH G10 knives, you know, you got the 3519 as well. And then, of course, which is probably my overall favorite. And then the 30, you know, the 3530, which is that big old butcher looking crazy thing as well. So I'll let you go. You know what we do around here. We love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.